Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the iRacing Northern Super Series Streeter Concrete Street Stock Series. Tonight, the Street Stocks will be taking on Iowa Speedway for 60 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight. My name is Atlee @ManWees, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's heart-pumping short track action. Now, last week in this series, we got a little bit dirty at Iowa Speedway, the one and only dirt race on the schedule. And with the dirt race, with the unique track, I know many of you are probably expecting an upset winner, and we did see an upset winner. Sean Fleury, in the number 31, after starting second, grabbed his first win of the season on the dirt, leading 87 of the 100 laps. Finishing second was Logan Powers. Third was Casey Beatty. Fourth was Aaron Raymond. And rounding out your top five, that was Jake Grout. Other lap leaders include Mark Baldwin, who finished 11th. He led one lap. And then your pole sitter, Bradley Bushy, who finished 13th. He led 9 laps. So, after the events of last week at Eldora, here's a look at your current point standings. Casey Beatty with his 2 wins this season. He is your point standings leader, and he's got a pretty sizable lead over second place Logan Powers. 38 points to be exact separates your top 2. Third in the points is Aaron Raymond. Raymond has 2 wins this season. Fourth is Jake Grout, also with 4 wins this season. And rounding out your top 5 in the points, that is Jason Pelkey. See the logo on your screen right now. I want to give a big thank you to series sponsor Streeter Concrete for all that they do for the iRacing Northern Super Series. Definitely contact them for any of your concrete needs. They are based out of Waitsfield, Vermont. So if you are around the Waitsfield, Vermont area and you're looking for some concrete work done, definitely consider getting it done through Streeter Concrete. You can call their phone number for more information, 802-793-6793. That's how you get in contact with Streeter Concrete, the best in the concrete business in the Waitsfield, Vermont area. Right now in practice, your point standings leader is not only the leader in the points, he is the leader in practice. Casey Beatty on the top of the board with a 26.856. Then in that second place spot, that is James Napier with a 26.87. Third is Logan Powers with a 26.88. Fourth is Jake Grau, also with a 26.88. Rounding out your top 5, that is Aaron Raymond. I mean, the top 10 is all separated by less than a tenth of a second. The field extremely close here at Iowa. In Iowa, with these street stocks, of course, in the NASCAR Cup cars and the Xfinity Series and the trucks, you have to lift, you have to brake here. But in these street stocks, these guys are practically full throttle on a really good lap. I think if you have fresh tires and you run the absolute perfect line, I do think you are able to flat-foot it around the track. And even with the early tire wear, I think you still barely maybe just have to burp it a little bit on entry. So these drivers are flying around here. The draft is going to play a factor for sure. Again, you're not all the way full throttle around this track, especially when around other cars, but you're pretty much full throttle, maybe only having to burp it just a little bit. And at the end of practice, Casey Beatty parking it on the top of the board, looking to try to carry that to qualifying to see where he will start. So we will have some heat races tonight. So however you qualify here in qualifying, that will determine where you will start in the heat race. There's last week's winner. So, and everybody in the feature will make the race, but we will still have some heat races to officially determine the starting lineup. There we got Scott Rochefort in that number 77, taking it off of turn number 4 on his out lap, getting ready to begin lap number 1. So far, so good through turns 1 and 2. Taking that momentum onto the backstretch now. Looks like he's not running directly on the bottom. He's staying about a groove higher. And Mark Baldwin, as I say that, last week's winner, Sean Fleury, to the top of the board with a 27.09. Mark Baldwin and Logan Powers gets to the top of the board with a 27.02. Second is now Jason Pelkey, 0.2 off of Logan Powers. Third is Aaron Raymond. Fourth, we have Sean Fleury. And rounding out your top 5, that is Mark Baldwin. There's a guy who could break into the top 5. That's Ty Delphia. Scott Rochefort currently running in 10th. Jake Grout able to get to second with a 27.04 only. And there goes Jason Pelkey on lap number 2. He gets to a 27.02, putting him less than a 100th off of Logan Powers, but still Powers just a little bit faster, so Grout falls to 3rd. Aaron Raymond is in 4th, and rounding out your top 5, that is Sean Fleury. Got Stephen Rochefort in the chat on Facebook. He said Stephen Rochefort Racing for the number 66 tonight. Or Steve Rochefort. Yeah, he says Scott Rochefort Racing for the 66 tonight. Good luck. Scott Rochefort currently sitting 16th on the board. Not quite the qualifying run that he had wanted. So we should see him try to gain some spots here in the heat race to try to better his starting position for the main. Want to thank everybody tuned in on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting. Share that stream. Glad to have you joining us tonight. I know we got a lot going on this Sunday. NFL playoff football going on, but we're glad you are tuned in and watching us put on some great racing action here tonight. And Casey Beatty able to put it to the top of the board with a 26.91. That is 900ths faster than second place Logan Powers. And with the super speedway nature of this track, a 900th gap for the pole is pretty significant. Wow. So now Powers to second, Jason Pelkey third, Jake Rout fourth, Aaron Raymond fifth. Let's talk about the track that we are racing at tonight. One of America's newest racetracks. Iowa Speedway is located in Newton, Iowa, and has been in operation since 2006. The 7/8 of a mile oval was designed and built under the auspices of NASCAR champion Rusty Wallace at a cost of approximately $70 million. That it's no coincidence that the D-shaped oval is patterned after Richmond Raceway, scene of some of Wallace's greatest successes during his career. Iowa Speedway has a seating capacity of more than 30,000, together with a unique multi-tiered recreational vehicle viewing area along its 869-inch long backstretch. A fixture on the NASCAR and IndyCar schedules, Iowa Speedway also boasts a 9-turn, 1.2-mile road course, which utilizes most of the main oval, along with a highly technical infield section, and hosts professional and amateur sports car races. And many NASCAR fans all over the world, and especially in the Midwest, are extremely happy after NASCAR recently added Iowa Speedway to the Cup Series schedule for the 2024 season. And qualifying has wrapped up with Casey Beatty starting on the pole for this first heat race. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 26.919. That is the 45 of Casey Beatty. Second is Jason Pelkey in the 64. Third is Aaron Raymond in the 88. Fourth, that is Peter Fisher in the 71. Fifth, that's Chad White in the 8. Rounding at your top 6, that's the 91 of Mark Baldwin. Seventh is Mike Young in the 67. Eighth is that number 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. In 9th, that's James Napier in the number 2. And rounding out your top 10, that is the 18 of Caden Fisher. 11th is Andy Collins in the 68. And rounding out your top 12 in the 04, that is Matt Smith. So here we are gearing up for this heat race. So I believe... So this heat race will be 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and so on. And then our second heat race will be 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, and so on. That's how these 2 heat races will be made up. It's only going to be 5 laps. So it's going to be a 5-lap shootout. If these guys want to advance their starting position, they got to make moves quickly. I believe this will make up the inside lane. So whoever wins this, I believe they're going to be getting that coveted pole position. Very important here at Iowa, especially with the drafting nature of this track and the amount of cars we have. Track position going to be very, very important. So here we go on the parade lap. Drivers getting those tires warmed up, trying to get some heat in them before that green flag drops. And I believe pace truck should be pulling in this time by. Yes, pace truck is in. And green flag is out. Your first heat race is underway here at Iowa Speedway. And actually, pardon me, this is going to be a 6-lap shootout. So Casey Beatty up through the gears, leading the field into 1 and 2. We see Aaron Raymond able to get clear. He jumps up into that 2nd place spot. Jason Pelkey crosses the line in 3rd. So now Aaron Raymond, he's got the 64 of Jason Pelkey underneath him side by side for 2nd. We see Raymond keeping the nose up on the outside as they take it off of turn number 4, but Pelkey stays underneath him as they cross the start-finish line. They remain side by side into turns 1 and 2. Whoever's directly behind Logan Powers benefiting from that draft a little bit. So right now, that's Aaron Raymond. He's got a little bit of pull there on that back stretch. Pelkey keeping it underneath him, though. He remains on that left rear quarter panel as they take it off of turn number 4, and looks like Raymond going to able to get clear over Pelkey. He will tuck back in line in that 2nd place spot. 4 laps to go now. 26.75. Mark Baldwin just ran the fastest lap time of the race in that number 91. He's currently running in that 5th place spot. Looking underneath Peter Fisher for 4th. Look back up to the front, and Aaron Raymond trying to use that draft to set up a pass on that 45. Straightaway speed is so important, so these drivers need to have the best exit speed possible so they can carry it down that straightaway. 3 laps to go now. Can Casey Beatty hold on to this lead and start this race in the pole position? He's going to have to hold off a hard-charging Aaron Raymond. 2 laps to go now. Time is running out for that 88 machine to try to make a move on this 45. He looks underneath him off of turn number 2. Raymond is to the left rear. He's now door to door with the 45. Raymond with the nose off of turn number 4. Side by side, white flag in the air here at Iowa. Raymond, Beatty coming back on the outside. They door each other, heading through turns 1 and 2. They're directly equal pretty much off of their turn number 2. Watch out for Pelkey. He's right behind them. Beatty with the nose, and there's Pelkey sending it down into 3 and 4. He makes contact with Raymond. Raymond goes up the racetrack. Beatty underneath him. They make contact. Beatty with the nose, and Casey Beatty falls short as Aaron Raymond barely beats him to the line. Only 100th separated those two drivers. What a race. And Aaron Raymond will be starting the feature event on the pole. Now it's time for heat race number 2. These are the drivers that qualified 2nd, 4th, 6th, and so on. So starting on the pole with a time of 27.012. That's the 99 of Logan Powers. In second, driver for Jake Grout Racing. That's Jake Grout in the number 49. In third, that's Justin Prescott in the 44. Fourth is the 13 of Ty Delphia. Fifth, that's Sean Fleury in the number 31. Sixth is Kyler Davis in the number 6. Seventh is the 25 of Shane O'Neill. Eighth, that's Horse Dog Motorsports, is Eric Steele in the 32. Ninth is the 77 of Scott Rochefort. Rounding out your top 10, Joshua Baldwin in the 11. And rounding out your top 11 in the 23, that is Ethan Tyrell. We have Brian Holbrook in the chat. He says, Prescott for the win. And green flag is out. Justin Prescott, who I just mentioned, starting in that third place spot. But here's Logan Powers leading the field into turns 1 and 2. Jake Grout keeping it on his outside. They remain door to door off of 2. Powers with the nose onto the backstretch, but they remain side by side. Jake Grout with a great run on that outside lane. Here comes the 44 of Justin Prescott on the bottom now, getting to that left rear of the 99. He tucks back in line behind him, and it remains a side-by-side battle for first with 5 laps to go in this heat race. Logan Powers with the nose on the bottom, getting a little bit loose off of turn number 2. These cars can get very out of control, especially with these high speeds. These drivers are hitting top speeds of 132 to 133 miles per hour. So, I mean, these street stocks are flying around this 3/4 of a mile race, or 7/8 of a mile racetrack. Still side by side for the lead. Powers with the nose. We see the 49 gets up the racetrack a little bit. Logan trying to shut the door. Justin Prescott last time by, he ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 27.00. He's helping give Powers a push here, giving him a little bit of a draft, and that's helping Powers have that little bit of a nose he has over Jake Grout. But here's Grout fighting back on the outside with help from Ty Delphia. Big run off of 2 for Logan Powers now, trying to officially shut the door on Jake Grout, but he's still not quite able to. He's getting the good help from Justin Prescott here. 2 laps to go. Jake Grout has really got to try to make a move here on that outside. He's almost clear, and Powers slides up in front of the 49, but we got a crossover. Oh, the 44, Justin Prescott into the wall. No caution flag will come out. We stay green flag racing. And looks like Jake Grout with the nose off of turn number 4. White flag is in the air. We may see another photo finish for the second heat race. Grout with the nose on the bottom. He's got that preferred groove. He slides up the racetrack a little bit. Now the momentum is on the top side. Powers with the nose on the backstretch. He's got a nice run into 3 and 4, but here comes Jake Grout on the bottom. He's making up ground. They're door to door off of turn number 4, side by side, down to the line. It's going to be Powers, Logan Powers, and a photo finish, able to beat Jake Grout to the race win, or Logan Powers beating Jake Grout to the race win. And wow, 2 photo finishes in both heat races. Hopefully this is foreshadowing for the great racing that we will hopefully see in this feature event. Stephen Rochefort, in reference to the previous heat race, said, yikes, Someone's throwing a fit after the checkered flag. Yeah, tempers definitely did flare a little bit in that first heat race. A very aggressive battle for that race lead ended up, and some beating and banging down to the line. And yeah, a few people not happy about that. Said Ty Delphia pushing his favorite cousin to the front. Yeah, Jake Grout almost got it. Came a little bit short to Logan Powers. So, all right, the heat races has got our field set. It's time to go street stock racing for this 60-lap feature event. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting on the pole after winning heat race number 1, that's Raymond Motorsports as Aaron Raymond in the 88. In second, your winner of heat race number 2, that's the 99 of Logan Powers. Third, that's Casey Beatty in the 45. Fourth is the 49 Jake Grout racing driver of Jake Grout. And running at your top 5, that's Jason Pelkey in the 64. Sixth is the 32 Horse Dog Motorsports driver of Eric Steele. Seventh, that's going to be Peter Fisher in the 71. Eighth, that's the 25 of Shane O'Neill. Ninth is Mark Baldwin in the 91. And rounding at your top 10, that is the 31 of Sean Fleury, who will actually be starting in the back because he is last week's winner. Caden Fisher in the 18 starts 11th. 12th is Scott Rochefort. 13th is Chad White in the 8. 14th, that's Ethan Tyrell. Then it's Matt Smith, Joshua Baldwin, Brian Rogers Jr., Ty Delphia, James Napier, and Kyler Davis rounding out your top 20. 21st is Mike Young. 22nd is Justin Prescott. And last but not least in the 68, that is Andy Collins. So we've got one more parade lap around this speedway. Drivers swerving back and forth, trying to get as much heat in their tires as possible before the green flag. Brian Holbrook said should go to the back. Yep, looks like Sean Fleury, currently in 23rd now, has taken his position in the back after winning last week's race at Eldora. So he's going to have his work cut out for him, working his way back up through the field, trying to get to that first place spot. So here we go. Pace truck going to be pulling in this time by. Again, it's Aaron Raymond, Logan Powers making up your front row, Casey Beatty, Jake Grout, and rounding out your top 5, that is Jason Pelkey. Here we go. 60 laps is the distance. Pace car is in, and green flag is in the air. Your Iowa Speedway feature event is underway, and already we're 3 wide. There goes Casey Beatty underneath Aaron Raymond. Beatty with the nose, and he clears Raymond through 1 and 2. What a start. We see the 64 almost into the left rear of the 88. We're now side by side for second. This would have been the battle for first, but now it's the battle for second as Aaron Raymond has a little bit of a nose over Powers as he goes way up on the high side. Raymond able to clear Powers up off of turn number 4. A little wiggle for the 88 on the front stretch there. He tries to look underneath Beatty now for that first place spot. He's to his left rear. He's to his door. Side by side off of 2 for that first place spot. Looks like Beatty with a little bit of a help. Powers right on the back bumper of that 45. But a nice run on the bottom for Aaron Raymond. He's almost, and Aaron Raymond should lead that lap. Yep, he has the nose over Beatty, but he doesn't have as much help. We see slowly but surely Jason Pelkey trying to get up to that back bumper of the 88. Last time by, we saw the fastest lap time of the race. The 18 of Caden Fisher set it with a 26.95. He's currently running in 8th. Look back to the battle for the lead. Raymond still with a nose over Casey Beatty as they cross the start-finish line. And we have our first caution out of the race. So we need to take a look at the wreckage replay to see exactly what happened. And we are watching the 13 of Ty Delphia, who is 4 wide. We're 4 wide. This is not going to end well. And you can see that 13, or excuse me, that 2 of James Napier kind of, yeah, James Napier pushes up a little bit into the 13. Then we see the 11 of Joshua Baldwin does not hit that 13 square. He gets into his back bumper. I think we saw maybe Delphia check up a little bit, and that sends him sideways into the grass. No other cars make contact. Delphia does not hit the wall, so not too much damage done during that caution. Let's talk a little bit about the cars we are racing at tonight. I mean, when it comes to grassroots racing, it doesn't get any more rooted than street stocks, although there are nearly as many different variations on street stock rules as there are quarter and half mile racetracks around America. The common thread is the use of an older American street car as the basis of the street stock race car. Depending on the racetrack and its rules and your budget, street stocks range from a little more than a street car with its interior gutted, its windows removed, and a rudimentary roll cage installed to a full-on race car with a highly tuned engine, upgraded suspension, and plastic bodywork conforming to the shape of the original street car. iRacing street stock is built to the full-on race car rules. Regardless of the specific rules, turning a street car into a street stock is not only less expensive than buying a purpose-built race car, the process of building a race car from a street car helps wannabe race drivers and mechanics learn the fundamentals of race car construction, maintenance, and setups. And learning is what it's all about for street stocks. It is the class to learn the basics of stock car racing. Willie Holbrook on Facebook says 45, number 1. And it looks like Casey Beatty, he will be restarting on the outside here, coming to the green. Aaron Raymond restarting on the bottom. Casey Beatty on the top behind them. That's Logan Powers, Jason Pelkey, Jake Grout rounding out your top 5. Pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air. We are back green flag racing here at Iowa. Aaron Raymond up through the gears, leading the field into turns 1 and 2. He's able to get clear over Casey Beatty. So now Beatty under pressure from Powers. They're side by side for second right now. Powers with a little bit of a nose on the inside, but they're practically equal on the backstretch. Neither driver giving the other an inch, but a nice run for Logan Powers on the bottom gets him almost clear over that number 45. And oh, hard into the wall. Peter Fisher, big wreck. Caution flag is out. We saw some heavy hitters get caught up in that one. We'll look at the wreckage replay to see exactly what happened here. So we're watching Eric Steele and that number 32. He's got Peter Fisher on his outside. Ooh, I don't... And it looks like Peter Fisher just comes up the track a little bit and just slides across the nose of the 32, sending him into the wall. Looks like the 25, Shane O'Neill, is collected in the carnage. Big wreck from some big names here at Iowa. So now we got some drivers on pit road here. Not sure what work is being done. Peter Fisher, I believe, took a fast repair. The rest of these guys, I think, are probably getting damage fixed. But there we see Casey Beatty waiting for that pace truck to come around. heading back onto the racetrack here. A little bit of agricultural racing we saw there for Casey Beatty. Lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green. Aaron Raymond restarting on the bottom. And we will have Casey Beatty restarting on the top. Then it's Logan Powers, Jason Pelkey, and rounding out your top 5, that is the 49 of Jake Grout. And pace car is in. Green flag is back out. There's Aaron Raymond leading the field into turns 1 and 2, trying to get clear immediately of Casey Beatty. He is able to, so now we are side by side for second. Logan Powers with the nose over, and he's got a big run off of 2, clearing the 45. So now we see Casey Beatty tucking in line into third. Now Logan Powers setting his sights on your first place driver, Aaron Raymond. But there goes Beatty diving down to the bottom. He's to the left rear of that 99. We're 3 wide behind them. We'll see if that ends up well. We see Jason Pelkey, Jake Grout, and the 18 of Caden Fisher. That makes up your 3 wide battle. Right now, Pelkey with the nose. He's that third car there closest to the wall. And they're still 3 wide. Oh, they door each other off the corner. Grout and Pelkey making contact. So far, they've been able to make this 3 wide action work here. I don't know how much longer this is going to last. It's like a ticking time bomb. Looks like Pelkey falling behind a little bit on the outside. 49 of Jake Grout. And oh, they make contact. Pelkey into the outside wall. Everybody able to save it, though, for the most part. Yep. Wow. That was sketchy there for a little bit. Looks like Aaron Raymond is actually coming up on some lap traffic. He's coming up on the 71 of Peter Fisher. So hopefully lap traffic does not play a factor here. Yeah, we see he pulls down onto the apron there. Not one to get in the 88's way. So we look back to this battle for the lead. Logan Powers trying to track down Aaron Raymond. We see the 18 of Caden Fisher all over Casey Beatty's bumper. That's the battle for third. Logan Powers trying to look underneath. Aaron Raymond trying to find where he's exposing that bottom. Caden Fisher last time by ran the fastest lap from the race with a 26.87. He's looking underneath the 45, trying to get to third here. Logan Powers trying to use that draft to get some momentum to set him up to get inside that 88. 10 laps down, 50 more to go for these street stocks. Still early on in this race, and there's Powers diving it down underneath the 88 of Aaron Raymond. And as I say that, a caution flag is out. So let's see what happened here. We're watching Scott Rochefort. He's got the 8 of Chad White inside of him. And we see Rochefort just gets way up the track. He turns that wheel to avoid hitting the wall. And that was actually not the caution. Oh, it looks like it was Ty Delphia. Let's rewind here. So we're watching here once again Scott Rochefort. Looks like Scott gets into the right rear of the 13, hooking him into the outside wall. Hard contact. We see the 04 getting involved, the 6 of Kyler Davis. Ouch. It looks like we saw Jake Grout take tires. Looks like we're seeing Casey Beatty just sit on pit road? I don't know what happened. Looks like Jake Grout is just sitting there too. I don't know what's going on. Two front runners just kind of stuck on pit road there. Huh. Looks like they're going to start without them. Lights on the pace truck are off. We're getting ready to go back green. Aaron Raymond restarts on the bottom. Logan Powers on the top behind them. That is Caden Fisher, Mark Baldwin, and Jason Pelkey. So now we do have a driver with fresh tires. That is Jake Grout. Lights on. Green flag is back in the air. There's Aaron Raymond up through the gears, heading into 1 and 2. We're side by side for second. Fisher with a big run on the inside, and he is able to clear Logan Powers as they take it off of turn number 2. Now Fisher setting his sights on your leader, Aaron Raymond. But he's got Logan Powers all over his back bumper. Powers looking to the high side, trying to get some momentum up there, trying to catch that draft on the 18 to kind of slingshot him into a potential pass for second here. And now Fisher inside Aaron Raymond for this race lead. He's to the 88's door. They're side by side off of turn number 4, door to door as they cross the start-finish line. We see Fisher with the nose heading into turns 1 and 2. But Aaron Raymond has drafting help from Logan Powers on that outside. Here comes Jason Pelkey to the bottom. No. Looks like he's going to stay behind Logan Powers. Nobody giving Caden Fisher any drafting help on the bottom as I say that. Here comes the 91 of Mark Baldwin. Maybe going to try to give Fisher some help here. But they remain side by side, dooring each other a little bit on the front stretch. Fisher, he still has the nose on that bottom lane. Aaron Raymond trying to hold his own on that outside. Again, he's got help from Logan Powers as well as Jason Pelkey. Pelkey just trying to decide which lane he wants to be on here. So far, still side by side. Both drivers, neither one to give each other an inch. I mean, they're fighting tooth and nail for this first place spot. Logan Powers right there as well, putting some pressure on both of these guys. And it's been a big race for Caden Fisher so far. He's gained, if he gets clear of that first place position, that will mean he has gained 10 spots since the green flag has dropped. So, big mover in this race is that number 18, but he's trying to have sole possession of this first place spot. He's just got to make it by Aaron Raymond here. But Aaron Raymond really holding his own on that outside, and I mention it every time a guy makes that outside work, but iRacing recently updated track wear on ovals and like track grip. So now on asphalt ovals, the outside has way more momentum right now. It is way better on all kinds of different oval racetracks. So we see Aaron Raymond really taking advantage of that on that high side. But again, he is definitely benefiting from the help of Logan Powers, who's pushing him up on that high side. Caden Fisher, nobody really drafting behind him. But he's still running very well. He does have that preferred groove. He is running on that bottom, and that's the shortest way around the racetrack and theoretically the quickest. Looks like he may have some help in the form of James Napier. That number 2 starting to come up on that 18. They remain door to door, 20 laps in the books, 40 laps to go. This has been an exciting battle still for this race lead. Neither driver giving the other an inch. We see Aaron Ray. I mean, this is close. I don't know who is going to break this stalemate here. If Caden Fisher wants to, he really needs James Napier to give him help. James Napier needs to get up to the back bumper of that 18. But looks like he's just struggling to get there. He's trying to get up there. But yeah, it's very vital if Caden Fisher wants to try to fully take sole possession of this lead. He needs to get that 2 to give him some help ASAP, because the line, and there goes Logan Powers. Oh, he thought about going down to the bottom and helping Fisher, but he stays on the outside for the time being, continuing to give drafting help to that 88. And there we go, Logan Powers, tired of waiting, he goes down to the bottom, making it 3 wide, and Powers, with a ton of momentum, he has the nose heading through turns 1 and 2. Can he complete the pass? We see Fisher there still on his outside, same thing with Raymond. We're 3 wide on the backstretch. Powers had been stuck behind Aaron Raymond for the last 5 or 10 laps, and he said, hey, I'm tired of waiting. He slips up in front of the 18. He still has Aaron Raymond on his outside. But now Logan Powers, he's getting some help from Caden Fisher. Raymond has drafting help from the 64 of Jason Pelkey. And looks like these guys coming up on some lap traffic. We see Ty Delphia getting down onto the apron. He doesn't want to inhibit the leaders. Now, this side-by-side battle for the lead continues. This time it's Logan Powers on the bottom. Aaron Raymond still holding strong on that outside lane. And now instead of Logan Powers, he's got help from Jason Pelkey. And now instead of leading that bottom lane, Caden Fisher's having to play the role of the pusher this time, trying to get Logan Powers out to the lead. That bottom lane, we see James Napier is there. Up top, there's last week's winner, Sean Fleury, showing he can get up into the top 10, whether it's on dirt or asphalt. And once again, we have a stalemate for this race lead between Logan Powers and Aaron Raymond. As we approach the halfway point, it's pretty much been these two up front for most of the race. We lost Jake Grout, Casey Beatty. They're in the rear of the field right now. They've been our other two main contenders up front. Jason Pelkey's been there. Watch out for that 64. And Stephen Rochford on Facebook says Fleury is last year's winner here. So, looks like Sean Fleury, he's shown us that he can get it done here at Iowa. He's just got to find a way play his moves right to get up there to the front, because these super speedway type races like we're seeing here tonight, it's like a game of chess, as one of the other intensity announcers, Josh Hall, commonly says, because you're always trying to think, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 moves ahead. And we got 3 wide right now with Fleury, Pelkey, and Napier. Looks like Pelkey is no longer helping Aaron Raymond on that outside. Caden Fisher jumps up there, and he's given that 88 a push. And we are currently at lap 30 of this race. We are at the halfway point, 30 laps down, 30 more to go. And the tires on these street stocks have got to be getting pretty worn. And big run on the outside for Aaron Raymond, trying to get clear over Logan Powers. Powers staying on his left rear, not letting him get clear. And he is staying there for the time being. Raymond trying to shut the door, but he is not able to. Powers keeping it underneath him. And he's still there, but he doesn't have help from anybody like Raymond does with Fisher. And Aaron Raymond is able to get clear over Logan Powers. Almost, not quite. Spoke too soon. Powers fighting back on the bottom. Aaron Raymond needs to shut this door. Yeah, Aaron Raymond definitely clear for this race lead now. But looks like he's keeping it on that high side. And Powers is trying to fight back on the bottom here. But Raymond able to shut the door. Now the battle is on for second between Caden Fisher and Logan Powers. But the tires are definitely getting worn on these straight stocks. I don't think these guys are able to run them as hard as they once were able to, you know, 10 or 20 laps ago. And we see Fisher able to tuck in line in second. Logan Powers tucks in line for third. And we're finally seeing a little bit of calm up front for the first time in, you know, 10 or 15 laps. I mean, we've just seen side by side for the lead for so long since that last caution that I think everybody up front there, Fisher and Powers, they're kind of taking this time to just take a deep breath here, refocus, and try to figure out how they can get this first place spot from your pole sitter, Aaron Raymond. Oh, we see a car into the wall. That's James Napier. He is able to save it. No harm, no foul, but that cost that number 2 a ton of momentum. I don't know if he's going to lose the draft of the 64. I think he should be able to catch back up. But that'll give that number 2 some right side damage. 25 laps to go in this race. For those of the drivers that are kind of hanging in the back, biding their time, waiting for a caution, I'd say it's go time. It's time to start working your way back up through the front so you can be in contention for this win when 10 laps to go, 5 laps to go comes. Being in contention for the win, we got Logan Powers underneath Caden Fisher for this second place spot. Fisher with the nose over the 99 as they head through turns 1 and 2. But we see Powers fighting back on the bottom. And this is exactly what Aaron Raymond wants to see. Because if these two are battling and holding, as I say that, no, that's not what he wanted to see. Powers able to get to the left rear of Aaron Raymond now for this race lead. And almost making contact. We see the 18 getting up the racetrack a little bit. So Logan Powers now clear of Caden Fisher. Fisher has the 44 of Justin Prescott underneath him now, or he was underneath him. Logan Powers trying to get back underneath this 88. He's to his left rear off of turn number 4. Trying to get up to the door. And he is there as they head into 1 and 2, making big gains on the bottom. They're door to door as they head through 1 and 2. And the battle for the lead resumes between the 88 and the 99. Looks like Aaron Raymond, he's got some drafting help from that 18 of Caden Fisher. Looks like Powers may have some help from Justin Prescott on the bottom. Aaron Raymond with the nose. And oh! This is a game changer. Caution flag is out. So this will re-rack and restack the field. We're watching Kyler Davis here. He's got the 22 on his outside. And looks like that wasn't the caution. This might be it here. We got Joshua Baldwin. He's got the 49 of Jake Grout underneath him. And look at that right there. Just looks like the 49 pushes up and hooks that 11 in the left rear, sending him sideways. And Joshua Baldwin, he is hard into the inside safer barrier. That entire nose comes off that 11. And up into the outside wall he goes too, getting some rear end damage. And the entire field down onto pit road, and Aaron Raymond will win the race off of pit road. Then it's second off is Justin Prescott. Then it's Caden Fisher, Shane O'Neill, Kyler Davis, Ethan Tyrell. Logan Powers loses some spots there on pit road. Eric Steele, Casey Beatty, Jason Pelkey losing some spots there on pit road. Sean Fleury, Jake Grout, James Napier, Chad White, Mark Baldwin, Brian Rogers Jr., Scott Rochefort. So it's pretty much an even playing field now. These drivers all on fresh tires. For those of you watching, make sure to go check out IntensityBroadcasting.com, your one-stop shop for custom printing, racing merchandise, and more. We've got all of our driver collections. We've got iRacing Real Life. If you want to support my real life racing endeavors, you can pick up some of my merchandise on there. If you want to buy any of our Intensity Broadcasting merch, support the broadcast tonight. We've got cool shirts and hats, mugs, stickers, mouse pads, polos. We've got our league collections, our team collections. We got a bunch of cool auto racing novelty items. We've got our lifestyle collections. And we do bulk orders as well. If you have a racing team, we do custom printing, so we can help get you the racing shirts that you want. We can get you the design, and we do custom printing. We can get you the bulk order so you can have all the shirts you want for your team and for your fans. So if you're a real life racer looking for some custom printing done, definitely hit up Intensity Broadcasting on Facebook and share with us what you want for your printing job. Steven Rochefort says Jake causes a late race caution to save his teammates' race. Here we go. Aaron Raymond restarting on the bottom. Justin Prescott on the top. Then it's Caden Fisher, Shane O'Neill, and Kyler Davis. So the field has gotten shaken up a little bit after those pit stops. Green flag is out. 20 laps to go. 20 more laps for Aaron Raymond to try to hang on to this race lead. We see Caden Fisher is able to clear Justin Prescott and get up to that second place spot. So now Prescott tucks in line in third. Caden Fisher setting his sights on your race leader. Aaron Raymond trying to take that lead from that 88 machine. Just trying to stay in that draft that you have here at Iowa Speedway. And looks like he's trying to use that draft to set up a slingshot on this 88. Looking underneath him off of turn number 2. And he is able to get to that left rear as they head into 3 and 4. We see Fisher up to his door. They're door-to-door, side-by-side off of turn number 4. Justin Prescott going to try to decide who he's going to help here. And he goes down to the bottom, almost making contact there. Doing each other there into entry of turn number 1. Last time by, Caden Fisher ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 26.78. That 18 is fast right now. He's got help from the 44 of Justin Prescott, giving him some draft. But Aaron Raymond, despite having no help up on the high side, he's got a nice momentum, keeping it up there, taking advantage of the grip that you have on that high side. He's making it work and staying right in the mix of things. In fact, he's got a little bit of a nose over Caden Fisher as they head through 3 and 4. They remain door-to-door into turns 1 and 2. Justin Prescott staying there, staying on the back bumper of these two. Wow, what a great battle for this race lead. I mean, we've seen good, clean battles for the race lead all night long. It's been impressive. Aaron Raymond, a big run on the outside, and he is able to clear Caden Fisher. So Fisher tucks back in line into second. Justin Prescott is in third. Caden Fisher just going to have to try to set up a pass again. Got to use that draft to just set up a slingshot and put your way underneath the guy in front of you. Justin Prescott is there. He's trying to get underneath the 18 for this race lead. But he will tuck back in line in third for the time being. Gonna be patient. Still 14 laps left. That's a lot of race left, and it also isn't. I mean, this is a big track. Drivers still have an opportunity to work their way up to the front, but time is ticking to make the moves you need to make to get in winning position. Like I said, these super speedway type races are like a chess match. You know, you got to be thinking 1 or 2 moves ahead. And that's what Caden Fisher's trying to do right now as he's trying to set something up on Aaron Raymond. He's trying to think 1 or 2 moves ahead. If I do this, how is it going to impact this in a few laps? Because one of the things is whoever's in first when that white flag waves, they're going to kind of be a sitting duck. So you either have to find a way to stay in second and wait till the last minute, or you got to make the move and hope you don't end up a sitting duck on the last lap. A lot of decisions need to be made for Caden Fisher. I know there's a lot going through his head right now. He's done a great job tonight. Started in the 19th place position. Sorry, he started in 20th. And... no, he started in 11th, sorry. He started in 11th, and he's just been able to quickly work his way up through the field. He's been running in the top 5 in the latter portion of this race, fighting for the lead, trying to get it from Aaron Raymond. And he just hasn't been able to. And he's hoping that when he is able to get it from him in these next 9 laps, it's going to be for the win. And then we got 9 laps to go right now. Caden Fisher still being patient, waiting to make a move on Aaron Raymond. Don't count out Justin Prescott. A lot of times the guy in third here has the best chance. because he has a few more moves he can make in his disposal. So do not count out Justin Prescott. If he ends up in victory lane tonight, I don't think it will be a surprise. Because I think he's got a great spot right now. He's in a good spot. He's honestly in the catbird seat right now. And we're going to have to decide this with a late race restart because a caution flag comes out. Wow. This changes everything for these drivers. Because this is going to re-rack, restack the field. So we're watching James Napier. He's got Scott Rochford on his back bumper, and he gets into him. Does not hit him square. That gets that number 2 upset. And spins him around off of 2, getting sideways. Oh no. He drifts back up into the racing groove. Looks like nobody else gets into him, so that could have been a whole lot worse. But we're back under yellow for the 5th time tonight. It's been a fairly clean race here at Iowa, considering the close quarters racing that we've seen. So we're going to have a 7-lap shootout, or 8 or 7-lap shootout to end this thing. This is going to be fun to watch, because we got a lot of different stories going on. Aaron Raymond, he's gotten it done this season. He's gotten it done twice. He's just looking to help boost his point standings position and reel in the gap for second that Logan Powers holds. But Caden Fisher, this is big for him, because if he grabs the win tonight, that would be his first win of the season. Same thing with Justin Prescott and also Logan Powers as well. I mean, Powers has had a great season, but he just hasn't been able to get the monkey off his back and get into the win column. So if Powers can work his way and grab the win, that would be a big, big deal for that number 99 team. Jason Pelkey, he's also had a really good season, but just has not been able to get it done and get that monkey off his back, and he's also hoping to find a way to get up there to the front. But these guys going to have 7 laps to do it. Lights on, the pace truck are out. Aaron Raymond restarting on the bottom, Caden Fisher on the top behind them. That is Justin Prescott, Sean Fleury, and rounding out your top 5, that is Logan Powers. Eric Steele is there. Jason Pelkey. Watch out for Kyler Davis. Casey Beatty, he could get it done. Ethan Tyrell. It is anybody's race here in these next 7 laps. This is going to be fun, folks. Pace truck is in. Green flag is out. Aaron Raymond up through the gears, leading the field into 1 and 2, trying to get clear over Caden Fisher, but Fisher keeping it on his outside. They are door to door through turns 1 and 2. Fisher with the nose on the outside. And he's keeping that momentum up there. He's got help from the 31 of Sean Fleury, giving him some draft. But now fighting back on the bottom, here's Aaron Raymond. They're practically equal as they cross the start-finish line. Neither driver giving the other an inch right now, fighting tooth and nail for this race win. But a big run on the bottom for Aaron Raymond gets him almost clear. He's got a lot of momentum, but there goes Caden Fisher fighting back on the outside. They remain door to door here. Aaron Raymond, though, has great corner speed. He's got the nose over Caden Fisher as they cross the start-finish line. But there's Fisher fighting back on the outside. But Aaron Raymond, great entry into 1 and 2. He clears Caden Fisher. Now Justin Prescott is underneath the 18 for second. 5 laps to go in this race. Who can get it done? Justin Prescott with the nose over Fisher, trying to get to the left rear of Aaron Raymond. Oh, a little wiggle for the 88 off of 4. He got some help from Caden Fisher there. got him a little bit squirrely. Here comes Prescott on the bottom now, trying to get to that left rear of the 88. He forces that 88 to the outside now. They're door-to-door off of turn number 2. Side by side into 3 and 4. Aaron Raymond with the nose. Three laps to go. And we remain side by side for this race lead. There's Prescott on the bottom now. He's got the nose over Aaron Raymond as they take it off of turn number 2. But Aaron Raymond fighting back on the outside. He's got a good push from Caden Fisher. Sean Fleury helping out in the 44 of Justin Prescott. 2 laps to go. What? Time is running out for Sean Fleury and Caden Fisher to try to get into this side-by-side battle for first. And it's going to come down to the wire here for Justin Prescott. Aaron Raymond, it's going to be a photo finish. Raymond keeping the nose over Prescott as they take it off a 4. White flag is in the air. Oh no! Contact! Fleury! Prescott getting a little bit squirrely on the bottom, and now Caden Fisher in second has got a nice run. He's all over the back bumper of the 88. He is clear over Justin Prescott. What can Caden Fisher do? He's got the draft. There he is, sending it into turns 3 and 4, trying to get to the back bumper of the 88. Can he catch him? Can he do something? No! Aaron Raymond will take the race win by a 10th here at Iowa Speedway, grabbing his 3rd win of the season. What a performance for that 88. Did a great job defending that race lead, and he deservedly parks that 88 in victory lane. Caden Fisher, not to be sneezed at, you know, he had a great run, great race, making some good moves, but came a little bit short in second. Justin Prescott, good race, parking it in 3rd. And Aaron Raymond on that start-finish line is burning it down, celebrating an awesome race here at Iowa Speedway. And looks like we got Aaron in the booth. Aaron, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Well, great win tonight here at Iowa Speedway, grabbing win number 3. And it wasn't easy. I mean, I know you were running up in the front for a lot of this race, but it wasn't easy. You always had pressure from guys behind you just trying to pass for the lead. We saw you battling out with Logan Powers there for a little bit. And then it came down to the wire with Caden Fisher. You know, he was all over your back bumper there coming to the finish, and he able to get underneath you to the line, but you beat him to the line. I mean, just walk us through what was going through your head, you know, during that last green flag run with about 8 laps to go, and how you're able to hold off everybody and secure this win number 3 tonight.
Well, it was all about getting to the top lane and just keeping the momentum up. And on the restart, I actually missed a shift, and I thought I threw it away. But I kept it up, got to the outside, and luckily Caden raced me clean.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa Speedway is definitely a different kind of track here on this schedule. It's almost super speedway. Like, what was the key to kind of using the draft tonight with these street stocks? Because it's definitely an interesting racing style here.
Yeah, it was just about whoever you had behind you. If they could give you a good push, then you could gain up on the guy in front of you, and then you just kind of had to throw a side job on entry and try to get the outside.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to thank for your win?
Yep, I got to thank you for putting on this broadcast. I got to thank all the guys that helped put on this league, and I got to thank my family.
Awesome. Well, congrats on win number 3 tonight, Aaron. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, you too.
Thank you. And we also have our 3rd place finisher here in the broadcast booth, Justin Prescott. Justin, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, good run tonight. Definitely not anything to be upset about after having to make some big moves. I know you started up in the 22nd position and you had your work cut out for you working your way up to the field after a rough heat race, but you were able to get up there, got some good track position with the pit stops, and you were in the mix there in the end, fighting for that lead. You were able to get underneath Raymond for a little bit, but you fell back there in those last few laps when we saw Fisher got back behind you, and you kind of tucked in line behind them and couldn't get back to that second place spot. So, I mean, walk us through your race, having to work your way up through the field after, having to start towards the rear, and just how you ended up putting a good enough race to park it in third.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a lot of give and take. And, there was a lot of that coming up through. I just want to say Sean had the opportunity there to definitely take me out, and probably the whole field with him on that last flag, and he lifted. So I wanted to say thank you for him. Got a lot of respect for those guys, but we got a good group of guys, and you can race like that. It was kind of frustrating with the draft. I kept trying to work on the bottom. I thought I had something on the bottom, and you get somebody and you push them out in front and the guy, and then they hop up to the top and leave you down there, and it's like, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah, third place, definitely nothing to be upset about for sure. But yeah, you mentioned the draft. I know I talked about it with Aaron. I mean, what was the key to just making it work and using it to your advantage to get up to the front?
Just taking what it would give you. It creates opportunities that, you gotta just be patient, because you can get some runs and throw it in there probably where you shouldn't. But if you use it right and you work together, you get a couple of guys, and you can make it work. It's a lot of fun. I would have liked to see that last caution not come out. I think those front three there when we broke away was going to be a good finish. But I'm happy, like you said, with P3. Can't complain, especially starting out back. So.
Now, is there any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to thank for your podium?
Yep, Logan, as always, for putting the league on. Intensity Broadcast for their making it so everybody can watch at home. GossCars.com, A&H Fence, Gothiers Trucking, and everybody watching. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Justin. Have a great rest of your night.
You as well.
Thank you. And that will do it for tonight's feature event. One more time, congratulations to Aaron Raymond on the win. Want to give a big thank you to the owner of this league, Logan Powers, for all that he does, helping this league run smoothly. Does a great job, so thank you to Logan for all that he does. Big thank you once again to series sponsor Streeter Concrete. If you're looking to get some concrete work done and you are out of the Waitsfield, Vermont area, definitely give them a call at 802-793-6793 to get an appointment booked with them for some concrete work done. I want to give a big thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We are always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And visit our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There we do custom screen printing, and you can find merchandise and help support our broadcasts and help represent Intensity Broadcasting. We got a bunch of cool shirts, bunch of cool hats. Check it out. Turn on your notification bell next week here in the iRacing Northern Super Series Street Stock Series. We're going to be taking on Hickory. Always a fun short track, a very historic racetrack out in North Carolina. So definitely not going to want to miss that. So turn on your notification bell so you don't miss when we go live next Sunday. I'm Atlee Atman-Weisd on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Over and